Welcome to Behind the Bills. I'm Naj Alikhan. Coming up, we're 1 week past the release of the May budget revision. We'll discuss some of the details of the governor's revision, and we'll be discussing the budget response letter that ACSA has delivered to lawmakers inside the Capitol. So let's jump right in. As you've heard us discuss, the state now finds itself in a $12 billion budget deficit due to what Governor Newsom says are really two moments in time. In his January budget proposal, there was a small predicted surplus, $363 million. Then in the early spring, we saw revenue eclipsing projections to the tune of $7.9 billion. But then we saw the impact of financial instability, which contributed to $16 billion in lost tax revenue. And now we're in a deficit, and that is impacting public education. The headline is that the governor is proposing to underfund Proposition 98 by about $1.3 billion for the upcoming fiscal year. And for context, in 24-25, Proposition 98 was at $118.9 billion. But for 25-26, we're looking at least according to the May revision, $114.6 billion. The May revision includes a cost of living adjustment of 2.3%, which is down from 2.43% in the governor's January budget. And to fully fund the LCFF, the May revision proposes using $481 million from the Prop 98 Rainy Day Fund. And with a deferral of $1.8 billion in LCFF funding from June to July, which for those of you who like to go into the details of the budget, this is a budget maneuver, a kick the can down the road move. On Friday, ACSA sent its budget letter to the governor and committee chairs in the Senate and Assembly. We applaud the governor for the effort he is making to preserve core education spending during these challenging fiscal times. But ACSA is concerned with the May revision's proposed reliance on deferrals and one-time funds to address ongoing commitments. We mentioned that $1.8 billion in deferrals for LCFF. We mentioned the budget maneuver, and moving this money from 1 month to the next shifts the financial burden and effectively creates a debt that must be repaid. If state revenues fail to hit projections, these financial obligations could become more impactful, forcing cuts or more deferrals that will further strain schools and their ability to serve students. As you can imagine, ACSA is urging the governor and legislature to fully appropriate Prop 98 funds and prioritize a meaningful increase to the LCFF base grant. Now, we talked about the cost of living adjustment, and we know programs outside of LCFF like special education, child nutrition, adult education, state preschool, and the LCFF equity multiplier serve critical functions, but their impact is compromised due to rising operational costs. We're urging the application of the 2.3% COLA to programs outside of LCFF. But we also want to see its application extended to the California State Preschool Program. And now, for the first time in my 11 years covering the state budget at ACSA, I heard a new term, and shout out to our ACSA legislative advocate, Cordell Hampton, for presenting to us the Prop 98 split. This split is designed to support the implementation of universal transitional kindergarten by ensuring that the dollars rebenched for TK expansion are directed to the TK through 12 schools delivering the program. And if you spotlight the costs of UTK, redirecting these funds back to TK through 12 schools is critical to meeting the state's universal access goal. ACSA supports this proposal, and we remain committed to working closely with the state to address implementation barriers. And a couple of other things to mention. Let's start with Educator Pipeline. ACSA is recommending the restoration of the Golden State Teachers Grant Program to its original form, which permitted all candidates to receive grant funds regardless of their income. We're also urging the legislature to redirect funds intended for the National Board Certification Incentive Program towards proven programs that focus directly on recruitment and retention. We've got the ACSA budget response letter on the ACSA Resource Hub, so we invite you to read that entire document. That's it for Behind the Bills. As always, be sure to like, review, and subscribe. And now we're excited to announce a $200 Amazon gift card for our subscribers. All you need to do is send a screenshot of your rating and review to behindthebills@ACSA.org. We'll announce a new winner when we hit 500 subscribers. You must be an ACSA member, of course, to participate. This podcast was produced by Michael Kelly. For everyone here at ACSA, I'm Naj Alikhan. We'll see you next time.